Learning starts in 3 seconds. Accumulation.
Accumulation.
축적, 누적.
Aggregation, build up.
The accumulation of wealth. Allied.
Allied.
동맹한, 연합한.
Federated, confederate, federal, associated.
Allied territories. Allowed.
Allowed.
소리내어.
Audibly, out loud, for all to hear, clearly.
He read the letter aloud. Aluminium.
Aluminium.
알루미늄.
Metal.
The ease with which aluminum may be fabricated into any form is one of its most important assets. Ant.
Ant.
개미.
Insect.
He had tried to get out of the house, but there were ants swarming all over the door. Asylum.
Asylum.
망명.
Refuge.
She applied for asylum and was granted refugee status. Batch.
Batch.
집단 무리.
Delivery, shipment, load, container load.
A batch of bread. Beard.
Beard.
턱. 수염.
Facial hair, whiskers, stubble, designer stubble.
He had a black beard. Biography.
Biography.
전기.
Life story, life history, life, memoir.
My brother Marvin and I once wrote a biography of the former Secretary of State Henry Kissinger. Bitch.
Bitch.
암개.
Female dog.
Registration started in 1907, with 3 dogs and 4 bitches. Bomber.
Bomber.
폭격기.
Bombardier.
They were supplied with weapons and air support from helicopter gunships and Antonov bombers. Bounce.
Bounce.
튀다. 빗소리가. 산란하다.
Rebound, spring back, bob, recoil.
The ball bounced away and he chased it. Bowler.
Bowler.
볼링하는 사람.
Player.
Some fans feel it is okay to heckle and tell pro bowlers what they should do on every roll. Break.
Brake.
브레이크. 제동 장치.
Damper, restraint.
He slammed on his brakes. Cargo.
Cargo.
화물.
Freight, load, haul, consignment, delivery.
Transportation of bulk cargo. Conceptual.
Conceptual.
개념의. 구상의.
Theoretical, notional, philosophical, unpragmatic.
Philosophy deals with conceptual difficulties. Constructive.
Constructive.
건설적인.
Positive, useful, of use, helpful, encouraging.
Constructive advice. Copyright.
Copyright.
저작권. 판권.
License, legal protection, right, performing right.
He issued a writ for breach of copyright. Credibility.
Credibility.
신뢰성.
Trustworthiness, reliability, dependability.
The government's loss of credibility. Critique.
Critique.
비평한 글. 평론.
Analysis, evaluation, assessment, appraisal.
A critique of Marxist historicism.
Accumulation. Aggregation, build up. Allied. Federated, confederate, federal, associated. Allowed. Audibly, out loud, for all to hear, clearly. Aluminium. Metal. Ant. insect, asylum, refuge, batch, delivery, shipment, load, container load, beard, facial hair, whiskers, stubble, designer stubble, biography, life story, life history, life, memoir, bitch, female dog, bomber, bombardier, bounce, rebound, spring back, bob, recoil, bowler, player, brake, damper, restraint, cargo, freight, load, haul, consignment, delivery, conceptual, theoretical, notional, philosophical, unpragmatic, constructive, positive, useful, of use, helpful, encouraging, copyright, license, legal protection, right, performing right, credibility, trustworthiness, reliability, dependability, critique, analysis, evaluation, assessment, appraisal, accumulation, allied, allowed, aluminium, ant, asylum, batch, beard, biography, bitch, bomber, bounce, bowler, brake, cargo, conceptual, constructive, copyright, credibility, critique,
dash,
dash,
황급히 맹렬히 달려감, 돌진,
rush, race, run, sprint, bolt, dart, gallop, career, charge,
I dashed into the garden. Desired,
desired,
바랐던, 희망했던, 훌륭한,
wish, wanted,
the bribe had its desired effect. Disco,
disco,
디스코텍,
social gathering, gathering, social occasion, social event,
on Friday evenings, he often attended a disco with school friends. Distort,
distort,
비틀다 일그러뜨리다,
twisted, warped, contorted, bent, buckled,
a grimace distorted her mouth. Doll,
doll,
인형,
puppet, marionette, figure, figurine, model,
the main categories of toys exported are soft toys, dolls, plastic toys, educational toys, electronic and mechanical toys and games and puzzles. Duly,
duly,
적절한 절차에 따라, 예상대로,
properly, correctly, in due manner, rightly,
a document duly signed and authorized by the inspector. Economically,
economically,
경제의 측면에서, 경제적으로,
sparingly,
the region is important economically. Embarrassing,
embarrassing,
난처한, 쑥스러운,
shaming, shameful, humiliating, mortifying,
an embarrassing muddle. Fairy,
fairy,
요정,
sprite, pixie, elf, imp, brownie, puck,
she believed she had had fairies at the bottom of her garden. Faithful,
faithful,
충실한, 충직한, 신에 있는,
loyal, constant, true, devoted, true blue,
the city has always been faithful to the Conservative Party. Fisherman,
fisherman,
어부, 낚시꾼,
angler,
That would drive prices down and encourage fishermen to catch more fish to make the same amount of money. Fog.
fog,
안개,
mist, mistiness, fogginess, smog, murk,
The collision occurred in thick fog. Frightened.
frightened,
겁먹은, 무서워하는,
anxious, disturbed, perturbed, troubled,
A frightened child. Galaxy.
galaxy,
은하계,
star system, solar system, constellation,
Some massive clusters of galaxies are similarly held together against the cosmic flow. Goat.
goat,
염소,
billy goat, nanny goat,
Children can touch the animals and even have a go at milking the goats. Grammatical.
grammatical,
문법의,
syntactic, morphological, semantic,
The grammatical function of a verb. Handling.
handling,
처리 다루기,
hold, pick up, grasp, grip, lift,
Heavy paving slabs can be difficult to handle. Heap.
heap,
더미 무더기,
pile, stack, mass, mound, mountain,
A disordered heap of a lot of boxes. Holly.
holly,
호랑가시나무,
evergreen shrub,
Avoid prickly leaves like holly or ones that are extremely fragile. Immune.
immune,
면역성이 있는,
resistant, unaffected,
They were naturally immune to hepatitis B.
dash, rush, race, run, sprint, bolt, dart, gallop, career, charge, desired, wish, wanted, disco, social gathering, gathering, social occasion, social event, distort, twisted, warped, contorted, bent, buckled, doll, puppet, marionette, figure, figurine, model, duly, properly, correctly, in due manner, rightly, economically, sparingly, embarrassing, shaming, shameful, humiliating, mortifying, fairy, sprite, pixie, elf, imp, brownie, puck, faithful, loyal, constant, true, devoted, true blue, fisherman, angler, fog, mist, mistiness, fogginess, smog, murk, frightened, anxious, disturbed, perturbed, troubled, galaxy, star system, solar system, constellation, goat, billy goat, nanny goat, grammatical, syntactic, morphological, semantic, handling, hold, pick up, grasp, grip, lift, heap, pile, stack, mass, mound, mountain, holly, evergreen shrub, immune, resistant, unaffected, dash, desired, disco, distort, doll, duly, economically, embarrassing, fairy, faithful, fisherman, fog, frightened, galaxy, goat, grammatical, handling, heap, holly, immune,
Inflict.
inflict,
괴로움 등을 가하다,
administer to, deal out to, mete out to.
They inflicted serious injuries on 3 other men. Injured.
Injured.
부상을 입은, 다친.
Hurt, wounded, harmed, sore, damaged.
A road accident left him severely injured. Integral.
Integral.
필수적인, 필요불가결한.
Essential, fundamental, basic, intrinsic, inherent.
Games are an integral part of the school's curriculum. Ironically.
Ironically.
비과, 반어적으로.
Jokingly.
How very noble, Oliver said ironically. Irony.
Irony.
아이러니, 역설적인 점 상황.
Sarcasm, sardonicism, dryness, causticity.
Don't go overboard with the gratitude, he rejoined with heavy irony. Jockey.
Jockey.
직업적으로 말을 타는, 기수.
Rider, horseman, horsewoman, equestrian.
A former champion jockey. Knitting.
Knitting.
뜨개질감.
Sew, weave.
I put down my knitting. Liaison.
Liaison.
연락.
Cooperation, contact, association, connection, collaboration.
The head porter works in close liaison with the reception office. Linen.
Linen.
리넨, 아마섬유.
Cloth.
A linen suit. Mainland.
Mainland.
본토.
Continent.
The mainland of Europe. Meaningful.
Meaningful.
의미 있는, 중요한.
Significant, relevant, important, consequential.
Meaningful elements in a language. Ministerial.
Ministerial.
장관 강요의,
Governmental, government, local government.
A backbencher who had never held ministerial office. Nationalism.
Nationalism.
민족주의.
Patriotism, patriotic sentiment.
Their nationalism is tempered by a desire to join the European Union. None.
Nun.
수녀, 여승.
Sister, novice, abbess, prioress, mother superior.
More than 130 Roman Catholic priests and nuns and hundreds of other Christians were affected by the denial of visa renewals. Offend.
Offend.
기분 상하게 불쾌하게 하다.
Hurt someone's feelings, give offense to, affront.
17% of viewers said they had been offended by bad language. Outset.
Outset.
착수, 시초, 발단.
Start, starting point, beginning, arrival, appearance.
The project was flawed from the outset. Pad.
Pad.
패드.
Dressing, compress, pack, padding.
A pad of cotton wool. Parade.
Parade.
퍼레이드, 가두행진.
Procession, march, cavalcade, motorcade.
A St. George's Day parade. Patrol.
Patrol.
순찰.
Vigil, guard, watch, monitoring, policing.
We were ordered to investigate on a night patrol. Poorly.
Poorly.
좋지 못하게, 저조하게, 형편없이.
Badly, deficiently, defectively, faultily.
Schools that were performing poorly.
Inflict. Administer to, deal out to, mete out to. Injured. Hurt, wounded, harmed, sore, damaged. Integral. Essential, fundamental, basic, intrinsic, inherent. Ironically, jokingly, irony, sarcasm, sardonicism, dryness, causticity. Jockey, rider, horseman, horsewoman, equestrian. Knitting, sew, weave. Liaison, cooperation, contact, association, connection, collaboration. Linen, cloth. Mainland, continent. Meaningful, significant, relevant, important, consequential. Ministerial, governmental, government, local government. Nationalism, patriotism, patriotic sentiment. Nun, sister, novice, abbess, prioress, mother superior. Offend, hurt someone's feelings, give offense to, affront. Outset, start, starting point, beginning, arrival, appearance. Pad, dressing, compress, pack, padding. Parade, procession, march, cavalcade, motorcade. Patrol, vigil, guard, watch, monitoring, policing. Poorly, badly, deficiently, defectively, faultily. Inflict, injured. Integral, ironically. Irony, jockey. Knitting, liaison. Linen, mainland. Meaningful, ministerial. Nationalism, none. Offend, outset. Pad, parade. Patrol, poorly.
Pottery.
Pottery,
도자기, 그릇들.
china, crockery, ceramics, ware.
An extensive collection of 19th century pottery. Preach.
Preach,
설교하다.
give a sermon, deliver a sermon, sermonize.
He preached to a large congregation. Prefer.
Prefer,
을, 더, 좋아하다.
like better, would rather have.
I would prefer to discuss the matter in private. Prevalence.
Prevalence,
널리 퍼짐, 유행, 보급.
commonness, currency, widespread presence, generality.
The prevalence of obesity in adults. Privileged.
Privileged,
특권 특전을 가진.
wealthy, rich, affluent, prosperous.
In the 19th century only a privileged few had the vote. Prohibit.
Prohibit,
금하다 금지하다.
forbid, ban, bar, interdict, veto, prescribe, make illegal.
All ivory trafficking between nations is prohibited. Query.
Query,
질문, 의문.
question, enquiry.
If you have any queries, please telephone our office. Ray.
Ray,
광선, 선, 빗살.
beam, shaft, streak, bar, pencil, finger, stream.
A ray of sunlight came through the window. Receptor.
Receptor,
인체의, 수용기 감각기.
sensory.
The retina of the octopus has up to 20 million light receptors. Reconcile.
Reconcile,
조화시키다.
make harmonious, restore harmony to.
The king and the archbishop were publicly reconciled. Reluctantly.
Reluctantly,
마지못해서, 거려하여.
hesitantly, unwillingly.
He reluctantly agrees to do his duty. Rhetoric.
Rhetoric.
미사여구,
Oratory, eloquence, power of speech, command of language.
He is using a common figure of rhetoric, hyperbole. Ribbon.
Ribbon.
리본,
4 lengths of ribbon.
The tiny pink ribbons in her hair. Roar.
Roar.
으르렁거리다 포효하다.
Cry, shout.
She waited for the lion's roar. Sausage.
Sausage.
소시지,
Banger.
She could smell bacon and sausages grilling in the distance and the smell of stew. Scrap.
Scrap.
조각,
Fragment, piece, bit, offcut, oddment.
I scribbled her address on a scrap of paper. Sexually.
Sexually.
남녀 암소의 구별에 따라, 성적으로,
Instinctly.
I'm sexually attracted to powerful people. Sleeping.
Sleeping.
자는, 자고 있는,
Unconscious, dreaming.
It was 30 degrees at 1 a.m. a few weeks ago and sleeping was near impossible. Smoothly.
Smoothly.
부드럽게 순조롭게,
Evenly, level, flat, flush, as flat as a pancake, horizontally.
The bust is smoothly carved in white marble. Snake.
Snake.
뱀,
Serpent.
Like that of other snakes, death adder venom is a form of saliva.
Pottery. China, crockery, ceramics, ware. Preach. Give a sermon, deliver a sermon, sermonize. Prefer. Like better, would rather have. Prevalence. Commonness, currency, widespread presence, generality. Privileged. Wealthy, rich, affluent, prosperous. Prohibit. Forbid, ban, bar, interdict, veto, prescribe, make illegal. Query. Question, enquiry. Ray. Beam, shaft, streak, bar, pencil, finger, stream. Receptor. Sensory. Reconcile. Make harmonious, restore harmony to. Reluctantly. Hesitantly, unwillingly. Rhetoric. Oratory, eloquence, power of speech, command of language. Ribbon. 4 lengths of ribbon. Roar. Cry, shout. Sausage. Banger. Scrap. Fragment, piece, bit, offcut, oddment. Sexually. Instinctly. Sleeping. Unconscious, dreaming. Smoothly. Evenly, level, flat, flush, as flat as a pancake, horizontally. Snake. Serpent. Pottery. Preach. Prefer. Prevalence. Privileged. Prohibit. Query. Ray. Receptor. Reconcile. Reluctantly. Rhetoric. Ribbon. Raw. Sausage. Scrap. Sexually. Sleeping. Smoothly. Snake.
Solidarity.
Solidarity.
연대, 결속,
Unanimity, unity, like-mindedness, agreement.
Factory workers voiced solidarity with the striking students. Stagger.
stagger,
비틀 휘청거리다.
lurch, walk unsteadily, reel, sway, teeter, totter.
He staggered to his feet, swaying a little. Suffering.
Suffering,
고통.
difficulty, hardship.
Weapons that cause unnecessary suffering. Tease.
Tease,
놀리다 장난하다.
make fun of, poke fun at, chaff, make jokes about.
I used to tease her about being so house proud. Technically.
Technically,
엄밀히 따지면 말하면.
properly, in fairness, correctly, legally, technically.
Technically, a nut is a single-seeded fruit. Testing.
Testing,
테스트. 하기.
examination, measurement, trial, verification.
It's been quite a testing time for all of us. Theorist.
Theorist,
이론가.
logician,
A person concerned with the theoretical aspects of a subject, a theoretician. Toast.
toast,
토스트.
bread,
She buttered a slice of toast. Uneasy.
uneasy,
불안한.
worried, anxious, ill at ease, troubled, disturbed.
She felt guilty now and a little uneasy. Unreasonable.
Unreasonable,
불합리한. 부당한. 지나친.
uncooperative, obstructive, unhelpful, disobliging.
She knew she was being unreasonable, but she resented his domesticity. Unusually.
Unusually,
대단히. 몹시.
awfully, extraordinarily, surprisingly.
The name is spelled unusually. Unwilling.
Unwilling,
거리는. 싫어하는.
reluctant, unenthusiastic, hesitant, afraid, resistant.
He was unwilling to take on that responsibility. Vaguely.
Vaguely,
모호 애매하게.
roughly, more or less, approximately, nearly.
He vaguely remembered talking to her once. Versus.
Versus,
소송 스포츠 경기 등에서. 대.
contrast, vs.
England versus Australia. Vice President.
Vice President,
부통령.
Vice Chancellor,
The Vice President of the World Bank. Vigorous.
vigorous,
활발한. 격렬한.
robust, healthy, in good health, hale and hearty.
A tall, vigorous, and muscular man. Vocabulary.
Vocabulary,
어휘.
lexicon, word stock, lexis.
A comparison of the vocabularies of different languages. Voltage.
Voltage,
전압.
volt,
The ratio of two voltages. Waiter.
waiter,
종업원. 웨이터.
server, waitress, stewardess, steward, attendant.
She worked in the kitchen while her children served as waiters and helpers. Wheat.
Wheat,
밀.
cereal, grass.
For instance, bread wheat is hexaploid with 3 A, B, and D genomes, each containing 7 pairs of homologous chromosomes.
Solidarity, unanimity, unity, like-mindedness, agreement. Stagger, lurch, walk unsteadily, reel, sway, teeter, totter. Suffering, difficulty, hardship. Tease, make fun of, poke fun at, chaff, make jokes about. Technically, properly, in fairness, correctly, legally, technically. Testing. Examination, measurement, trial, verification. Theorist. Logician. Toast. Bread. Uneasy. Worried, anxious, ill at ease, troubled, disturbed. Unreasonable. Uncooperative, obstructive, unhelpful, disobliging. Unusually. Awfully, extraordinarily, surprisingly. Unwilling. Reluctant, unenthusiastic, hesitant, afraid, resistant. Vaguely. Roughly, more or less, approximately, nearly. Versus. Contrast, vs. Vice President. Vice Chancellor. Vigorous. Robust, healthy, in good health, hale and hearty. Vocabulary. Lexicon, word stock, Lexis. Voltage. Volt. Waiter. Server, waitress, stewardess, steward, attendant. Wheat. Cereal, grass. Solidarity. Stagger. Suffering. Tease. Technically. Testing. Theorist. Toast. Uneasy. Unreasonable. Unusually. Unwilling. Vaguely. Versus. Vice President. Vigorous. Vocabulary. Voltage. Waiter. Wheat.
Thank you for watching.